What is up, guys? Evanaldo here. Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to do another kind of analysis to let you guys know that things are looking quite a bit better at the moment. And the main reason why is because just look at this on, well, Bitcoin not as much because, well, we are making a higher low, but it's even more so on Ethereum and altcoins right now because a lot of them are really pushing through big points. So it is a really good sign that we're kind of getting this higher low double bottom type situation on Bitcoin, first of all. Because if you're going to jump back up to our range 105, it is setting up for that, especially in a Santa rally, especially in a post, especially at the end of the halving year into the post-halving year, what we see throughout history. And the important thing, I talked about in the video yesterday, but I want to talk about it even more because I discovered something else that's even crazier. So the main thing here is on just others, which is everything outside of the top 10 in crypto market cap. If we look at this, zoom in here, exactly 4 years ago to the day, December 23rd, 2020, look right here at this wick right there. That was the bottom, and then you were essentially home free. I mean, it's off by a few days if you think that this is the, oh, I gotta zoom out. This is the bottom right here. It's off by a few days, December 20th, but the same general area. Now, what gets even crazier is if you go back another 4 years here, where was the bottom in 2016? December 23. Look at that date right down there, December 23, the bottom. And then you were essentially home free, which is just kind of crazy. But looking at that pattern, see, just bear with me here. Look at the pattern. We came up a lot. This is probably a crazy jump up. Yeah, 71%. I don't know if it's going to jump up that much that quickly, but came up a lot into January 6th. Then you had your 34% correction, around 30 to 35%. That's very relevant here. Now let's see what happened here. You came up. Oh yeah, actually, let's see that. I never measured this before. 100%, even crazier this time for others. Okay, so if you follow that, that's the opposite of diminished returns. And then 32%. Look at that correction starting on January 10th. And now let's look at potentially what could happen if we do see that situation. 100% jump up from that low would be a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it can happen. It would be a little crazy. Let's say it would be, just back up to here as our goal into early January. Let's say just these highs or maybe a little bit more of highs. I'm not saying you can't. I mean, if you were to come up this high for others, you'd probably see 115, at least a new all-time high for Bitcoin, maybe even up to 120K Bitcoin by January 10th, let's say, by the first, first third of January, the first 10 days of January, that kind of area upward. And then from there, let's say if you were to come up to this area, let's say 500 billion could be that's at 74%. Let's be optimistic. Let's say maybe you come up to that much, and then you come down around 30% back down to kind of this area or these lows, something like that. Keep in mind, Bitcoin, we're getting to the point where others could really start to outperform Bitcoin here. And now let's go back, bear with me just a second. Let's go back to, where was it? Okay, so the first time here for others, see that December area, that was right around the same day, December 22nd here, 23rd. That's probably the same day that it bombed out against Bitcoin, others versus Bitcoin. And then you came up and then you bled 20%. You bled a little bit against Bitcoin in this January, February correction, but not too bad. You still kept that low here. So essentially, and then if we let's just look at that was in 2017. Let's look at what happened in 2020. 2020. So it was, you were bleeding a little bit more until January 1st there. So you had that little drop off. But during this correction, see that January 10th correction there, this is what I was meant to talk about here. The altcoins outperformed Bitcoin on the way up. So that could happen here. That could happen. We could see this generally just keep going up, even if you have a correction where Bitcoin and everything comes down, 20, 30% in January, which it likely will if history repeats itself here. So that's what we're kind of looking at. Bitcoin dominance, you're getting more bearish. The monthly is going to confirm this very bearish sign. Split apart RSIs, high anchor wave, money flow coming out, everything that we want. You still got a green Heikin-Ashi candle in the 3-week. I guess it's a little bigger bullish case, but still looks bearish there. And then it looks very overheated in a lot of ways here. So I do think that you might generally be ready to top out here. If you do top out, I don't really see you making much more of an all-time high here. I think you're getting on the last string of things. So I think it's a really good time in the grand scheme of things to get into altcoins in the 4-year cycle. So yeah, so that's what we looked at there. Others, and now if we look at I mean, ETH versus Bitcoin, the same type of thing, making a higher low, which is really, really good. Confirm that longer, bull div on the 2-week, 3-week, you confirm not a bull div, but deep anchor wave, and then your monthly, still that could print and confirm by the end of this month here. So I think ETH has got a good shot of really jumping up against Bitcoin as it did. Look at this low right here, December 21st. So making that higher low, still similar area, and then jumping back. You had a little correction there in February to March, but then you just went crazy against Bitcoin. Those big moves happen so quickly, man. Those big moves happen so quickly. Looking at your Ethereum itself, this is a good sign for seeing our Santa rally. Things were looking a little bit dicey, a little bit seedy, but now we're trying to jump back up. You get a technical target. I would say out of this kind of situation there's one technical target. It would be right around the spider lines, I guess, would be your first technical target. And then second one would be, after that, would be around 3,800. So I do think potentially jumping into Christmas time, next few days even, jumping up to this level, and then into end of year, potentially getting up to that 4,000 mark. If you do remember what happened exactly 4 years ago, you could come up quickly. You could have some really nice green candlesticks around the holiday, and then potentially even in early January, dare I say, I know it's a big jump, but potentially even toying with those all-time highs. Now, if we look at Ethereum, where it made all-time highs, new all-time highs last time here, getting above this marker right here, it was in the end of January, right? Yeah, where you really saw them February, so maybe one you didn't really have. That was your January correction right there. It looks like nothing. Very volatile, and then coming up higher. So you could definitely see that if we repeat here, we could definitely see those new all-time highs by February, hopefully, early February. And then, I'm just trying to think, what else here? Solana, some of the big ones. This is good. The fact that we just want to hold this like 190 area, see a spiral line, we really want to hold that as long as we can do that. And it's getting better. It looks like we might be able to hold that. Then, especially with this kind of, not as much there, it's an anchor wave, but this trigger wave forming on the 3-day, that could show us some good continuation back up to these, potential highs here. So, yeah, that's ultimately what we're kind of looking at there. So I think there's a good shot. And then AVAX, 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow X's, that's kind of good. I like how we're showing some strength. I think into the holiday, people start getting gifts. They exchange gifts. It's a time, especially in that halving year, to put money into these markets, especially altcoins too. You only live once. Kidding. But Chainlink as well, trigger wave forming. Look at like the last situation where we had a tight trigger wave. Now, this could be a little bit of a facade, then we come down farther like this and then continue forward, or it could just be like this one where you really, continue forward here. Let's see what trajectory this would bring us to if you were to repeat some situation similar to this. February 68 by February. I think that's a little bit too optimistic, but who knows? Maybe even toying with new all-time highs. If Chainlink hits new all-time highs by February, maybe this will mess around with new all-time highs. Things could get crazy very quickly here. Just keep that in mind. Last but not least, or sometimes least for some people, depending on what you're into, Cardano gets a lot of hate. I just don't really follow the drama or care enough. I'm just trying to follow the cycle on a lot of these and make some money. That's all I really care about. So, trigger waves right here looks pretty good. If you can jump above there, then you're looking at 118 again, which is a decent sign for this right there. Just wanted to actually look at crypto.com really quickly here, because as long for a lot of things we're breaking above that point that we didn't want to lose, and as long as we could hold it, that's pretty damn good. And then that could send you to new all-time high, or new, not all-time highs, but new yearly highs into the end of the year, or new kind of local higher than this high, let's say, higher than your November high, which would be good. And by the way, guys, I do have in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord, I do have a new trade in for Bitcoin that is probably mildly in the red right now, but I do think it will kind of come back. If you guys are interested in making some trades, check out BloFin down below and BYDFI down below. BloFin, they're ending this futures bonus deposit, which is really good. Deposit 5K, get 1,500. Deposit 1K, get 450. Deposit 500, get 200. I really like these ones. Ends on December 25th. And as always, if you sign up my link to BloFin, you get 10% cash back off of your trading fees for there, supposedly for life. It'll probably be at least until the end of this cycle, I think. And BidFi, same thing, the 10% cash back, only my link. They were doing a 10% cashback bonus. I think it's up to $500 on BidFi as well. Both of these, no KYC, no VPN. If you want a high liquidity exchange that is KYC, check out Bybit down below. And as always, guys, if you sign up to any of these exchanges down below, deposit at least $100 and open a support ticket in the Discord. With your UID, we'll get you sorted. We'll get you 1 free month in there, so you can see all the analysis and trades from me, Nightshade, and KMac in there. And let's get that group. I want some more discussions in there. I try to answer your questions in there kind of as much as I can, so let's get more people in there. Always appreciate that. Always smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. All right, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.